Right, we'll move on to our next presenter, Kate Booth. Where is Kate? She's ready for it. So, again, a big round of applause for Kate Booth! Yeah!
Thanks very much. Okay, I think I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah. Hi everybody, my name's Kate Booth and I want to talk to you tonight about food. And I'm not talking let's share some recipes and look at some lovely food porn. I want to talk to you about food and its original purpose. I'm talking about food as a weapon. The maker and distributor of food in the household, i.e. the mum, holds all of the power. I'll give you an example. When my sister and I were still living at home, back in the days of university and when Majestics was still open, we were upstairs layering on the mascara and the short skirts. Downstairs, our mum was mashing up garlic and putting it in our dinner. And it's not as though we lived in Forks. No Twilight fans in tonight though. We weren't at risk of vampires, not even broody teenage Robert Pattinson's who has to have his six-pack drawn on by a makeup artist. We must have had garlic seeping out of our pores. We never pulled. After a night out on a lash, our mum would be ready with the next tool in her arsenal, which is the fried breakfast. Now, as a drinker with a great deal of experience, I can promote the fried breakfast as a hangover recovery aid, provided you've had enough sleep and you've readied your stomach for it. But in our house, the fried breakfast was a test. It was noticeably absent when we hadn't been out on the lash the night before, when we just get a crappy piece of toast. But if we'd come in at 2 a.m, we knew our mum would be ready with some fried bacon by 7:30. And if we couldn't eat it, well, we'd get a lecture. And there would be rules imposed on the next night out, which you don't want. I did fail one time though, folks, and it was a fairly epic fail. I'd been out to a lock-in in the village pub, and I woke up the next morning with a feeling of absolute dread. I knew that I'd got the key in the lock on the first attempt, and I'd tiptoed quietly up the stairs. There was just one problem, a sure sign of my inebriation the night before. I'd left one shoe really neatly by the front door, and I couldn't remember where my other shoe was. Not only was I too ill to eat the fried breakfast, I couldn't physically move to get up and hide the evidence, so I was a goner. My mum's response to this was to withhold all food rights, which is a serious punishment in the Booth household. I knew that I was in the doghouse. My dad's response, on the other hand, was to point and laugh at me and ask me whether I had a drink problem. And when I got hungry, that's him, he went next door to steal tomatoes from the neighbour's greenhouse and then smuggled them in past my mother. So that's what went on in our household. But what happened if a visitor strayed across our path? Well, then food could be a welcoming gesture. Or it could be an open declaration of war, as we found out when my sister brought a boyfriend home from university for the first time. He was welcomed with tea and cake, and he was asked whether there's anything that he didn't eat, to which he naively volunteered that he didn't stomach spicy food very well. That was a big mistake. It turned out that he was pretty irritating, and by the end of the night he had wound my mum up something rotten. Well, we can handle our spicy food in the Booth house, but the chilli that my mum made was something else. My dad and I were sweating buckets, but we couldn't let on that there was a problem. My sister gave up after a couple of mouthfuls and just pushed her plate away. Whereas the boyfriend, well, he ploughed on, and he ate a lot, but we never saw him again. I've got a friend who can top this though, and I apologise in advance for the next slide, which will last a full 15 seconds. But when he went to meet his mother-in-law for the first time, she's a nice Sicilian lady, she made him sheep's brains for his tea. Game, set and match to the mother-in-law. Lost my place. And remember that the power of the chef transcends all, and I can verify that from my waitressing days. I used to love working the lunchtime shift because one of the perks was the chefs made you lunch, albeit at 11 o'clock. But one of the other waitresses, who, by the way, in my defence was a bit of a cow, used to complain relentlessly about the lunches. She was a vegetarian, and our restaurant didn't really cater for that, and neither did the chefs, which meant that she got a salad every day. And every day she moaned. Well, in the end they got sick of her attitude, and they decided that they would make her something different. They made her a lovely, warm, salad. But they used the juices from the bottom of the cold meat trays to make her a dressing. And you know what? She loved it. So remember, folks, mothers know best and respect the chef. Thank you.